John Doolan, there's probably no easy way to lose a football match, but 0-0, 89 minutes to concede in the way that you did. How upset are you by that?
Well, it was. I had to probably control my emotions in the dressing room because of obviously what we've achieved and what we've done in terms of the last month. But I said to him, "You're only as good as your last game." So, the end of the day is they're very good at what they do, set plays. The focus was a refocus at half time on that. Thought we defended all the long throws and all the balls in your box and the corners, if you like. Done really, really well, the lads. They all had an individual battle as well as a team battle. So, defended that, got in at half time, and there was, you could see it had 0-0 all over it, didn't it? You could see that we probably had the best chance in the game that we don't take. So you've got to defend. You've got to defend for 90 whatever minute, 94 I think he put up, didn't he? 4 minutes. So I think there's maybe an incident with Paddy. This possibly could have been a penalty. I didn't see it. Paddy reckons he got kicked. So I'd have to see that back again. But in terms of the sucker punch was that. So they're very good at what they do from corners. They've scored quite a bit from corners. So we knew the task, we knew the challenge on that, and it's an individual thing. And the end of the day is they've put the ball in the back of the net and got away with the 3 points.
We spoke the other night in a positive way about quality in the final third and the difference it can make. You mentioned that chance for Sean Worley, I presume you were alluding to in the first half. After that, it felt like you had lots of openings, lots of opportunities, but nothing very clear cut, nothing that forced the goalkeeper into a save. Is that why you felt it was looking like a 0-0?
Yeah, because we lacked that quality in the final third. So, and especially more so in the second half, because we got the balls in decent areas. Whether it was a cross, whether it was just that final pass into the box or the final moment, whatever it was, we just lacked that. Today we did. Got probably sucked into just more competing than taking care more of the ball ourselves and getting it down and getting it into the right areas. And as I said, when we did get it into the right areas, we just lacked that quality.
As far as handling that game and dealing with the physicality of it, does it sometimes lead to that? If you've prepared and you know what you're going to get, sometimes do you end up playing the way the opposition almost want you to play?
You get sucked into it, Dan, yeah. But, I said to them, and they played the shape. I mean, probably changed it slightly and went to 4-4-2, to the 4-2-3-1. And they went a little bit more, put 2 big lads on. Well, took one off and put Cheek in behind Kabamba. So you knew, and the lads stood up to it for 89 minutes. So they stood up to all of it. They stood up all the challenges, all the aerial duels, battles, picked a lot of first contacts, a lot of second balls up. And then we did have our moments in the first half in terms of playing a bit and getting the ball in wide areas. Not that a couple of decent balls in, but then lack quality in terms of crosses and what have you. The final pass, and then more so in the second half, the same thing.
In terms of moments you mentioned there, the Paddy Madden incident you referred to, he came off soon after that. What's the prognosis? I know you won't have a medical point of view on that, but did you have to bring him off due to the knock that he got?
Yeah, well, he was just feeling it and he was limping around, wasn't he? So, it's more precaution, take him off, because we've got a heavy schedule coming up. So we've got adequate replacements in Charlie and everybody else that goes on the pitch. So yeah, it was more just take him off and we'll see how he is.
It's been a gruelling week, hasn't it, with 120 minutes and then a game in midweek. And does that have any effect, do you think, on what we've seen today, the minutes that have been in the legs of players? Or
possibly. You can see possibly a little bit, here and there, but we freshened it up Tuesday, we freshened it up again today. So, lads will get minutes and that's it. But, we've had a successful period as well within that. The under the 20 minutes you said, but you wouldn't have thought that on Tuesday against Harrogate. Because you lost now, you're trying to look for excuses, ways to say, well, what happened there? You get sucked a little bit into how he played, but they do very, very well. So, pats on the back to them, but I'm just more so looking at us, really, and just disappointment in terms of conceding from that set play when we've been really good at them.
You go again on Friday, of course, at Cambridge. Because there's a little bit more of a break here before you go into Christmas, is it a time to reflect and look back on the last 6 weeks or so when you've been on this run in the league? Yeah,
I just said to them then, as I said, my emotions were, I was bubbling, but at the same time, I can't forget what we've achieved. We've achieved nothing, you haven't got nothing for it, only the points that you've got on the board. So we've just got to go again, we'll stick together, we go again. It was just disappointing because we conceded from a corner, which was late in the game. So that's the disappointing thing. So you reflect on it, but if you reflect on it, it's all more positive than negative, to be honest, Dan. Just a little bit feeling a little bit flat, a little bit negative because of the way the game's finished today. But the lads deserve a pat on the back in terms of what we've achieved recently. But as I said, you only get the points for it. There's nothing given out.